Hi everyone, Jamie here. Thank you so much for watching today. So I've got this super large, elegant wedding card. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I've made a envelope gift box as well with this acetate piece. You can see inside to the card and see all that gorgeous detail. The box size is coming out as 9.5 inch squared. And the card then inside is just over 9.25 squared. So I'll just take that out so you can see it. So it's a top folding card, got all this gorgeous detailing, personalised. Customer have asked me to create a 25th wedding anniversary card, and I just love how this has come together. I'm hoping you can see all that embossing detail and these sort of gorgeous edges then with these particular circular dies. So today's video is a little bit different, if I haven't already said that before. I tend to do quite structured videos, give you the instructions and show you how to sort of assemble. So it's not quite a tutorial as such. It's more of, you know, a craft and chat, if you will. So, you know, I'll speed some of the elements up, but I'll be like sort of going through real-time process with you, how I sort of think, how I'm putting the card together. So if you're interested in having a look at this style of video, then let's get into it. I'm going to quickly run through the products I'm using in today's video, or that I plan to use. I've prepared a few pieces, but I'm just going to sort of have a play with the layout, just put things together, no sort of plan as such in my head. I just want to extend these DL dies. So this is from Creative Craft Products, and this is the Elegant Square die set, and this coordinates with the Elegant Square 3D embossing folder. So I wanted to use those together, but I wanted to create a larger wedding card. It's an 8x8 size. So using those two, then I've made some flowers using Apple Blossom Flower Forming Rose die set. From the Card Making Magic circular box card and card builder, I've used this sort of edge die here, some of the flowers and the foliage, and then some of these circular elements, and then I've just used some nesting circles. So these are from Creative Craft Products. So anything that I've used I will link in the description box below. As I said, no sort of set plan today. So I've got an 8x8 card blank and a piece of 7.5 squared in white cardstock, and then I've just gone ahead and sort of prepared lots of my elements off camera. So I think I'll just work on the base piece at the moment. So as I said, I've cut a piece of 7.5 squared, and I think I want to sort of roughly start off gauging the size of the panel. So I might trim this down a little bit because I want these sort of trims on the edge there, something like this. So I want to be able to see that detailing and it not be hidden behind that piece. So just measure this, see what we're coming out at. This is 7.25. So sorry, 8.25. So by the time I add this trim, which is going to be by there, I think probably going to take it up to 9.25. I think that'll be fine actually. So I'm going to leave these panels whole. I've got these embossing details. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, stick these two panels on top of that embossed panel. so they line up there. I'm going to cover the edge in here with some ribbon just along there. And yeah, just have a little play. As I said, I didn't really have sort of a plan. I've kind of followed a previous card style that I've made, but these panels are different. Yeah, so I'll just pop you on high speed, put a little bit of background music, and just start attaching these elements together. So nothing too sort of complicated in terms of, you know, a tutorial today, but I just wanted to give you some sort of additional ideas for personalized wedding cards, you know, those wow factor cards that you like to make. Whenever I'm asked to make personalized cards, I like to do sort of big 8x8 or larger cards. So yeah, I thought I'd do like, you know, a different style of video to normal. Usually everything is sort of planned and structured, but I thought I'd just have a little chat with you. That's now attached, and I'm just going to tidy up these edges. So while I'm attaching the glue to this panel, just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update in terms of the channel and my, you know, what's going on in my personal life. So at the moment, not planning on moving. My husband and I are moving to a new house, so we're packing things up. So there might sort of be a bit of a gap between selling our current house and our new property. And when we move into it, we're planning on converting the loft, so we both got sort of office space. So we're going to get that sort of done straight away. So it means I'm going to be without my craft room for a few weeks. So I'll be reducing the content on my channel just to sort of accommodate that, and then hopefully by the new year I'll be back up to maybe 2 or 3 videos a week. I think the plan is to go down to 1 or 2, depending on sort of how much content I bank in between now and the move. My sister's also getting married in Cyprus in October, so I'll be away for 2 weeks then also. So lots of different things going on at the moment, so I need to, you know, get things done in terms of packing the house up and making those bits a priority. So maybe once I start to pack a few things up, maybe I'll have more order in my craft room, because at the moment it's absolute bomb site. There's stuff everywhere, a bit like my mind. So maybe I'll do sort of a craft room tour. Let me know if you'd like to see that. So I'll show you old craft room, and then when I'm set up I can show you my new one. So I want it to be 8 1/4 squared. I'm just adding, an additional piece in the center here, and then it means that will be covered up by the ribbon. I'm just going to get a wider piece to cover up that gap. There we go. I think it's starting to come nice now. So I've got these edges that I'm going to attach on the outside and then attach it to this 7.5-inch squared panel, just to give it something to ground it and give it stability before it goes on to the card base. So where I cut these, it does go a little bit longer, but I trimmed down sort of either side and it marries up then perfectly with the edge. So I thought it'd be nice to just sort of mix and match different die sets together to give this sort of elegant card. I think it's always nice to just stretch your stash and you know, mix and match things together, so you've got, you know, different sort of textures, shapes, detailing. It just adds to the card style. So I'd be interested to know if you sort of enjoy this, you know, style of video. You like it sort of more, you know, chatty and slowed down in the process, or do you like it more structured, you know, where you've got the step-by-step guide, there's no sort of messing around, you've got the instructions and you can just, you know, replicate that project if you want to, or recreate it in your own size. I think this is starting to look nice now. I just love that detail. What I might do is add some pearls within these, you know, the raised area of those flowers. I'm going to add the panel with some cloud glue so it's nice and strong, because there is a little bit of warping on the cardstock from embossing. So hopefully this will help, you know, flatten that out. Make the piece nice and strong. I'm just going to flip this over. Going to help hold that ribbon in place as well. And then again, I'm going to attach this flat to the card base. I'm going to do it as a top folding card. and then I'm going to start adding that dimension with, you know, the different layers that I've created. Just check I've got the ribbon the right way. I'm doing it top fold because I've got this edge here, and that having it top fold should accommodate for that. I think I'm going to need to put some mats and layers on the inside just to strengthen that. If you did it as a side fold, it would be a bit wonky, whereas a top fold will hold itself fine. Then I've got these circular pieces. I was running a bit low on silver mirror card, so I've had to, you know, cut the additional circle from here. Obviously this will be hidden by the white, and then this edge will be covered by some flowers, so, you know, the recipient won't notice that. I'm going to make this really dimensional by adding some foam. I've got the sentiment in the middle. So this is for silver wedding anniversary. I did originally emboss the white panels as silver, but I felt it was too much. So I'm going to start to assemble these. I'm wondering whether I put a bow there just to cover that silver up. Possibly. So I'm going to attach the silver flat. And then pop some foam in the middle of here. So I've had a lovely morning so far. I've been out shopping with my mother, sister and my niece Aria. We've been to Cardiff, which is about 45 minutes away from us, so my sister could have her final dress fitting. Had a wander around the shops, and I got a sandwich. You know, lovely morning so far. I've got the afternoon to spend with you guys creating, or doing something creative I should say. So to get my sentiment, I used Design Space, which is a program for, you know, Cricut users, just so it helps me size it. But you could do this by Word, you know, you don't have to have a specialized program to do that. I've just printed it off and then used one of my circle dies and die cut that out. I'm also going to make a box envelope, possibly with some acetate so you can see through into the card. Let's double check I've got this the right way. think I will do a bow just to cover up that gap in the silver. Yep, I like that. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to make a special wedding card for my sister and brother-in-law. I've got something in mind. It's inspiration I've seen on Marta Dabika's account, Drop of Sunshine. A lot of hot glue just in there. And then I'm going to add some foam then to the back of this circle. Again, to pop that up. And I've got some flowers to add to there. You can start to see the colour coming in now with the leaves and the flowers, and then some silver foliage. Just got all these sort of different bits to add to it. I think it's coming along nicely. Just got my hot glue gun heating up. Give some dimension to those flowers and help me sort of position those into place. I think I like the sort of the flowers just over the ribbon. I think it adds to the effect. So I've got lots going on my desk. It's a bit of a mess, but I'll be honest with you, this is how I like to work. I am pure chaos. I'm not a tidy crafter. If I'm filming a video, I'll try and keep my space, as clear as possible. But if I'm just working by myself, I just like to have a play and, create that mess. I'm just going to pop that there. Just trying to stabilize that flower with some extra hot glue. So tell me what sort of card styles you enjoy making the most. I think I've got sort of two particular styles. So I like the fun, kinetic style cards, you know, using Made to Surprise products, colouring those really fun sort of critters and different stamped images to go along with it. And then I like these really sort of elegant floral large sort of special cards, like using Chloe's Creative Cards products. She's got some lovely sort of floral stamps and dies. So I'm keeping some of the flowers back for my box envelope. I'll keep some of the leaves back as well. Just adding a little bit of shaping to the flowers, you know, sorry, the foliage. Once that's attached down, then you can start to lift them up and then just around the edges. So I'm really happy with that. I think that's turned out gorgeous, and it'll stand up like so. So I've got these bits left over then to decorate my envelope. I'm going to make a box envelope, as I said, so let's have a look at, it needs to be 9 1/4 by 9 1/4. So I'm going to have to use A3 cardstock just to be able to have pieces large enough to accommodate that. So I've trimmed this down to 11 5/8 squared. So I'm going to score at 1 1/8 on all 4 sides. I'm hoping that's enough height because I haven't got the correct length in cardstock. Just check that that fits in there nicely, that's fine. And then for the lid, it's only about 1/8 of an inch larger. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but we'll see. So I'll score it 1/8 of an inch again on all 4 sides, and I'll make the bottom first and then add the lid over the top, so you can give yourself some sort of flexibility when you're attaching it. Pop that one to one side. So you can really sort of go over the top in terms of decoration with these gift boxes. I tend to keep mine sort of quite plain, so you could add, you know, pattern paper, further sort of embellishments, but I'm going to let the card do most of the talking by adding an acetate piece on the front of the lid, so you'll be able to see into the card, and then add a little bit more decoration with some flowers on the front. So hopefully you're seeing that okay, because this is quite a large piece of cardstock. So all I did was measure the card size, and then depending on how large you want the box envelope, so ideally I would have wanted it to be 1¼ but I didn't have the length in cardstock, so I did it 1 1/8, and then just add those together and add it on to the card length, and then that gives you the size of square that you need to cut. And then I just scored at 1 1/8 on all 4 sides. So when you're sort of bringing the sides up on the box, you can extend them out a little bit to give you a little bit of wiggle room in terms of the lid. So I'll be constructing the lid in the same way as what I've done here, but placing it on top of this box to make sure it wraps around, because I haven't got that 1/8 of an inch that I normally allow for the lid. That will fit lovely inside there. So we've got a little bit of wiggle room, so you could add some tissue paper, and I think the height is just right. And pop this to one side. Fold and burnish along the score lines and just cut into it, and then add the aperture. So same way as before, pick one of your sides, come up to that first score line, cut a little wedge into it. Same on the opposite side. And then just rotate it and do the same. So probably just going to bring in a simple square die just so I can cut a frame. This is my last full piece of silver cardstock. I think that's quite a nice size. Yep. So I've just joined 2 together. They were in there from a previous make. So tack that down, run that through my die cutting machine. That will give me a frame, and then I'll take them apart and use the smaller square to draw around, give me a guide to my aperture for the lid. That didn't quite cut through, so just trim that off. Got this nice frame. I'm gonna have to keep that for future use. So I need to make a few wedding, well, I need to make a special wedding card for my sister, as I said, and I also need to make another 25th wedding anniversary card. So I've got something really cool planned for that. Well, I think it's cool. So it's sort of a take on the 3D display card and stand, but it's not using the dies, so I'm making it larger. So I want more of a larger circle, and excuse my squeaky chair, a larger circle and a thinner, the depth to be thinner, and I'm going to make it sort of into a 3D ring. That's my idea anyway. So I'm going to draw around this die and use my craft knife and ruler to cut the aperture, so I know that this is going to be bigger than my die cut piece. So if I've got sort of any rough edges, that'll be hidden by that. So just grab my knife. I'm going to cut away from the other side just so it's easier. And if you're sort of not used to cutting with your craft knife and ruler, you want to make sure you've got a good hold on your ruler. Try and do it in one sort of motion. Place it against the ruler to get that nice edge. Sorry if you can hear any background noise. Sounds like my neighbour's coming home from work and reversing his work fan. So that should come away. Looks like there's some fibres still hanging on. Just gently go across that line. There we go. Then this will sit nicely over the front of the, hide any of those pencil marks, any of those rough edges. What I'll do is add some acetate to this, so it'll also help stabilize the frame, and then any sort of red tape will be hidden on here, so you won't be able to see it from the inside. So just go and grab that acetate. So just using the frame to measure the acetate piece. So I appreciate you might not be able to see that all, see it all that well. Just checking, see it fits. I've got some really thin red tapes. This is great for acetate. Really strong adhesion on this. I'm going to do it more towards the edge so that this will be hidden on the inside of the box. First I couldn't find my red tape, then I couldn't find my scissors. As I said, I am a very messy crafter. But I'm hoping when I go to my new craft room, I'm going to try and reform and be a lot more organized and prepared with my content, and being more organized in my craft room, putting things away after I've used them, use up my scraps, use up my pattern paper. I've got really high hopes. So just to help me with my placement, I'm going to just peel one side off, and I like to line up the other side without putting your hand into the glue, and then you can get that one end perfectly placed. And remove the rest of the tape then to get it all perfectly lined up. Now, sometimes that doesn't always happen, so if you have any overhang, you can always go in with your scissors and cut that away. So add in a bit more red tape. Again, over the other side of the acetate, ready to place this on the lid. And then I'm going to wrap it around the box. I've got enough wiggle room. And again, you can just roll it down over the top. Hopefully my placement is okay. So bringing back in the other bit, so I might have to do this slightly off camera because it is quite tall. I'm going to be quite close to it. I'm just adding glue to the tabs. I'll turn it upside down. Just place those over the top there. And then this side is probably a better view. Just adding glue to those tabs. Placing that, just wrapping around it. Just going to lift that off and just press those down. And I'm going to just get I think it's a 1-inch circle punch or 1/2 inch, just to create some sort of pull tabs on the side. That's nice and snug. Got this lovely view inside the box. And then grab those remaining flowers. I'm going to have an avalanche on my desks now. So I'm just going to place that on the bottom corner there, just to continue that composition of those flowers. So there's the finished project. Just take the lid off so you can see inside onto the card. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Just love the white on white. I think it's perfect for wedding and wedding anniversary cards. Also Christmas. It's just a lovely sort of style. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video from me. Slightly different. Let me know if you like this sort of format. You know, if you prefer more structured videos, as I said. Anything that I've used in today's video, if it's available, I will link it in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, maybe you'd consider subscribing. And I hope you have a lovely crafty day, and I'll see you in the next one.